Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I have a tutorial on how to make this little mini tapioca plush inspired by the tapioca from Sumikko Gurashi. So first of all, what I did was I took some pink plush fabric and I just folded it on itself, like on one end, and then I just drew out a rough like half circle overly elongated semicircle shape, and I just made it a little bit fat and just quite wide, and then I just cut this out and sewed along all the curved line with my sewing machine. If you don't have a sewing machine, you can of course hand sew it, but you'll want to sew from, say, the left hand side all the way around to the right hand side, or the other way around if you want to do it that way, just making sure that the curved line is completely sewn. Once completely sewn, you'll then want to just cut off all the excess around that, so that once you turn it the right side way round, it will turn around a lot smoother without any kind of bulk of fabric on the inside. What you then want to do is turn it back the inside out way and then just kind of flatten it on the other end so that the semicircle is going the other way, so that seam that we just sewn is kind of facing forward and at the back. What you then want to do is just flatten it down like I said and pin it into place so that it stays nice and flat. You'll then want to make a line kind of going all the way across that, almost like a little curved line, but going over the edge and over the edge of the other side, if that makes any sense. So you want to just sew completely all the way across so that you take out the major curve. I just sewed this again on my sewing machine, and then what I did was turned it inside out. I then realised there was a little bit of bulk, so I turned it back the other way, and by the cross where the two kind of seams met, I just made 4 little snips. I then turned this the right side way around, and as you can see, it's a much more 3D round dome-like shape. What I then did was stuff this with toy stuffing. You can get this at any local haberdashery or craft store, anything like that. It's just plain polyester filling. So next I went back to the pink plush fabric and I just did 4 little kind of marks of where the 2 hands and the 2 feet were, and these actually worked out the same size as my finger, so I just drew around the top of my finger for the other 3, and like I did on the first semicircle, I just sewed this on my sewing machine right on those lines. As you can see here, all 4 are fully sewn, but what I did was cut one off at a time and just made sure to really focus on one at a time to kind of give a really good effect. I just cut off all the excess and snipped off the end, which is where my fold was, and then I turned it inside out with the help of my scissors. You'll need to do this for all 4 pieces. As you can see here, mine are fully done. What you then want to do is draw a rough circle the same size as the bottom of your tapioca body, just about 1 centimetre bigger all the way around. You then want to cut this out and then pop it onto the very bottom of your tapioca with the right side facing up. But once you start sewing, you'll want to just tuck over the fabric so you're left with a nice neat edge. I will zoom in a little bit like in a minute or so, I know I did that, but you'll just want to kind of sew and fold as you go around. But like I said, I'll zoom in a second just so you can see it a little bit clearer. Yeah, here you go. So you just want to fold it over and then just stitch that down with the folded edge rather than a raw edge, as you will have a lot of fabric fraying and you'll just end up with really kind of nasty, unprofessional like sewing edges if you don't fold it. Once you get halfway round and you've decided what point you want to act as the front, you'll then want to just insert 2 of those little finger pieces, and you'll just want to fold down the bottom, like kind of encasing it all in. Once you stitch, you'll then want to make sure that your needle goes through the front, through the foot, and then through the back, and then you just want to keep making sure that when you're sewing it's going through all 3 pieces to secure the feet into place. So once the feet are fully in place, you will see then you'll have like kind of a big flappy bit almost, like on the end, and what you want to do is just fold that bit in to kind of like measure up against the rest of the tapioca and sew that down in place. What I then did for the arms was I just folded in those raw edges that were on the feet, and I just stitched this down into place. I started off with one and I made sure like the front of the hand was also sewn down, and like to sew on the second one I just made sure that the hand bit was kind of sewn first so that they was like in place when I sewed them. That probably makes no sense, but I started from the other end first so that they met in the middle. So next, in order to apply the face, what I then did was took some brown cotton thread on my needle again and just started stitching over and over and over in a circle to make one of the eyes. Now of course you can use fabric paint to do this. I find fabric paint on plush fabric a little bit tricky and can sometimes look a little bit messy, so I find stitching them on does give a more kind of professional finish if you have the time and like effort to do it, because it does take quite a while. But anyway, once you have the first eye done, you can then move on and pop the second one on. I just did this in the exact same way, so I didn't film this on camera as I felt like I didn't need to take up your time. But to make the little mouth in between is really simple. You just want to do about 4 or 5 stitches, just about 1 centimeter wide, over and over in the same spot. Once the mouth is fully complete, your mini plush is then done. So as you can see, this is how the plushie turned out. I love it so much and feel like it works much better as a mini plush. I feel like I need to add a keychain to it, but I'm trying to resist the urge, as I'm going to make a yellow and a blue one as well to go with it, so that I can have them like on my shelf or something, as I love the Sumikko Gurashi tapioca so much. And I'm so happy that I've made this, as probably it cost me about £1 with all the materials all in all, and to buy these is about like £10 to £12. I mean, that's just insane, and you get all the fun of making it. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye!